What's up, everyone? Welcome to episode 200 of the Idiotic Sports Talk. I'm your host, Liam Gavin, coming to you live from my bedroom. Today, I'm giving you all the Week 10 recap around the NFL. This is going to be part one of the Week 10 recap. We have so much news to give you. I have so much news to share with you all that I can't just make one part of a video. This video is going to be so long, and I'm like, you know what? Might as well cut it into two parts. So this is going to be the part one of it, and it's going to be pretty awesome. We had so much to go over. We had 6 games end in last-second field goals, the most in NFL history. We also had a couple blowouts. We had some underdogs make some noise. So let's get started. Before I get started, you see this little cut above my eye with the black and blue? Just ignore it. I got into an MMA sparring match, and, I got caught. But it happens. It's what I do for fun. It's what I do for my hobby, and it's expected. So let's break this down with the Thursday game. The Bears beat the Panthers 16-13. The rookie Tyson Bagent, 162 passing, no touchdowns, no picks. Deontay Foreman, 80 rushing yards and a touchdown. And as for the rookie Bryce Young, 185 passing, no touchdowns, no picks. And Amir Smith-Marset, he had a punt return touchdown for 79 yards in the first quarter, and that was the Panthers' only touchdown. So the Bears go to 3-7 with a Thursday night win on a Thursday night snooze fest. The Bears' offense, 295 yards with 133 rushing yards. The defense had no turnovers, but they did have 3 sacks. As for the Panthers' offense, 228, 43 rushing yards, just awful. And the defense had no sacks, no turnovers, and couldn't stop the run. The Panthers fall to 1-8. And if you had trouble sleeping this past Thursday, watching this game definitely should have helped. They should air it on Comedy Central next time because it was just that bad. And it's funny because as much as I trashed this game, it was a close game. I said 14-13 was the score, and I was 2 points off. 2 points away from getting the right score. And although it was close, it doesn't mean it was entertaining. Both teams were so similar in stats. Both teams had 2 rookie quarterbacks starting. Both didn't turn the ball over, but neither threw a TD as well. Both threw for under 200 yards. Tyson Bagent had 13 incompletions, while Bryce Young had 18 incompletions. The difference is Bryce Young was drafted number 1 overall this past draft, while Tyson Bagent went undrafted, and both offenses were just awful on third down. Carolina 3 for 15, Chicago 6 for 15, and it's funny because both offenses were perfect on fourth down. Carolina 3 for 3, Chicago 1 for 1. And both offenses had under 300 yards. The Bears did outrush Carolina, though, 133-43, a 90-yard difference. And the Bears were better on first down with, they had 21 first downs, while the Panthers only had 12. Penalties were even. The Panthers had 45 yards in penalties, and the Bears had 7 penalties for 44 yards. Both defenses didn't turn the ball over. However, the Bears defense did have sacks, while the Panthers had none. And kicking, the Bears, Cairo Santos, perfect 3 for 3, while the Panthers kicker, Eddie Pinheiro, 2 for 3. He missed a game-tying 59-yard field goal, and it's humorous how close the stats are between the two teams. I mean, these are overall the worst teams in the NFL right now. The Bears have Carolina's first-round pick in the next draft, so winning actually helped them because they get to stay low, and they keep the Panthers at that number 1 overall pick for right now. And is it safe to say Bryce Young is a bust so far? I'm going to say no. The kid doesn't really have much to work with, and to my opinion, it's just not fair to just throw him under the fire and say that he is the main problem, because in my opinion, he's not. On to the Sunday games. We have the Colts beating the Patriots in Germany 10-6. Gardner Minshew, 194 passing, no touchdowns and a pick. Jonathan Taylor, 69 rushing yards and a touchdown. And Michael Pittman Jr., 8 catches for 84 yards. Mac Jones of the Pats, 170 passing, no touchdowns, 1 pick. Ramondre Stevenson with 88 rushing yards. And Langweilig und dennoch knappiges Spiel, which is, I believe, German for boring yet close game. Let me know if there's any German people watching, people from Germany, people who speak German. Let me know how that was, because I think I did a decent job. But anyway, Colts get back to 500 with a win in Germany. They're now 5-5. The offense just 264 yards with 70 rushing yards. They were bad on third down. They couldn't get any first downs either. However, they were 2 for 2 on fourth down. The defense had 5 sacks, 2 picks. They gave up only 6 points. And as for the Patriots offense, 362 yards. They couldn't pass, but they ran for $167, but they couldn't score any touchdowns. They did just get 6 points, and they threw 2 picks, both of them coming in the fourth quarter. Mac Jones was benched for Bailey Zapp. Bailey Zapp was picked to end the game in a dumb fake spike. It was probably one of the worst ones I've ever seen. Not Marino-esque at all. And yeah, that pretty much ended the game for him. The defense had an interception, no sacks, but they also got no help from the offense. Their season of misery just continues. They lost their third straight. They're now 2-8. And the German crowd was lit. You know, I'm here complaining about how this game was. They didn't care. They loved it. They love American football over there. And as I could say is Danke schön Germany, which is thank you in German. So let me know, hey, anyone from Germany or anyone who speaks German who's watching, let me know how my German was. I practiced up a little bit before I gave this recap. Next, the Browns beat the Ravens 33-31. Deshaun Watson, 213 passing, a touchdown, a pick. Kareem Hunt, a rushing touchdown. Elijah Moore, a receiving touchdown. And Jameer Forbes with 107 rushing yards. As for Lamar Jackson, the Ravens, 223 passing, a touchdown and 2 picks. Gus Edwards with a rushing touchdown, and the rookie Keon Mitchell with a rushing touchdown as well, and Odell Beckham with a touchdown catch. So the Browns move to 6-3 on the road versus a divisional rival in an epic comeback, an AFC North smash mouth classic. The first quarter, Watson is pick 6 right away. A few minutes later, the rookie Keaton Mitchell runs in for the touchdown. The Ravens are up like that, 14-0. Both teams exchange field goals, and the Browns are in trouble early as the Ravens lead 17-13 after 1. Second quarter, the Browns string together a drive for a field goal, but the Ravens drive downfield. They're able to kick a field goal, but wait, it's Justin Tucker. His field goal is blocked, so the Browns hit a field goal to respond off that blocked field goal, and now it's 17-9 Ravens. And with 45 seconds left in the second quarter, Lamar Jackson is picked. The Browns get the ball, but they get 0 points out of it. The third quarter comes, Odell Beckham Jr. making a big play like it's 2016, takes it to the house. The Ravens lead 24-9. The Browns are able to cut a 15-point deficit to 7 with a Kareem Hunt touchdown and a Deshaun Watson 2-point conversion. And after that, the Browns get a sack on the Ravens' next possession. The Ravens lead 24-17 after 3. Fourth quarter comes, the former Raven, now Brown, James Prochet muffs a punt. With excellent field position, the Ravens are able to score, and now they're up 31-17 with 11.5 minutes to go. The Browns are able to strike quickly, though, with a touchdown. The Ravens lead the Ravens lead 31-24 with 8:50 to go. And then a couple plays later, Lamar Jackson's pass deflected, Browns pick 6. All of a sudden makes it a 31-30 game with 8 minutes left for the Ravens. The Browns kicker has a chance to tie it with an extra point, but he misses it. So the Browns defense forces a punt. The Browns offense marches downfield, and then they get a game-winning field goal with 3 seconds left to win the game 33-31. The Browns overcome some adversity. They overcome 2 touchdowns, majority of the game. The offense, 391 yards. They ran all over the Ravens for 178. They were 6 of 18 on third down, and the defense had 3 sacks. They were able to get 2 picks. One was that pick 6 late in the game. And what a way to grind it out for the Browns. As for the Ravens, 324 yards of offense. They ran for 106. The defense, 4 sacks. They had a pick 6. But they got cooked for almost 400 yards and 33 points. The Ravens choked just plain and simple, and they had chances to put them away, but 2 crucial picks hurt them pretty bad. The Ravens are now 7-3 with their 4-game win streak snapped. Next, the Steelers beat the Packers 23-19. Kenny Pickett, 126 passing, no touchdowns, no picks. Jaylen Warren, 101 rushing yards and a touchdown. Najee Harris, 82 rushing yards and a touchdown. As for Jordan Love of the Packers, 289 passing, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. The rookie Jaden Reed, 5 catches, 84 yards and a touchdown. And Romeo Doubs with a touchdown catch. So the Steelers are starting to build up steam. They won the last 4 out of 5 games to move to 6-3. The pass offense wasn't pretty. They were not good at all on third down. They were 4-13. However, the run game had 205 yards plus 2 touchdowns. And the offense finished with 331 yards. They didn't turn the ball over. And the Steelers' defense had a sack and 2 picks. Jordan Love had good moments in this game. And then he had awful moments, especially the 2 picks in the end zone with 5 minutes to go. Could have been avoided. They would have needed a field goal to tie, but the extra point was blocked. Just a whole bunch of miscues for the Packers. Their offense, 405 yards of offense, 116 rushing yards, 8 of 16 on third down, 2 of 2 on fourth down. However, just could not overcome those miscues, especially the 2 picks inside the end zone that could have sealed the game for them. The defense had a sack. They had no turnovers. They were smashed by the run game. The Packers fall to 3-6, and you could call them the 3-6 Mafia because they are now 3-6 on the season. Next, the 49ers beat the Jaguars 34-3. Brock Purdy, 296 passing, 3 touchdowns, no picks. George Kittle, 3 catches, 116 and a touchdown. Brandon Ayuk with a touchdown catch. Deebo Samuel with a touchdown rush. As for Trevor Lawrence of the Jags, 185 passing, no touchdowns, 2 picks, 1 fumble. Christian Kirk, 6 catches for 104 and a fumble. So both teams coming off a bye, but it was the Niners who wanted it more as they blew out the Jacksonville Jaguars, and they moved to 6-3. They snapped the 3-game losing streak. Purdy looked great, and the offense was great in general, no turnovers. The offense had 446 yards, 144 rushing yards. They had 20 first downs, while the Jags only had 12. And the defense had 5 sacks, 2 picks, 2 fumbles, allowed less than 249 yards for just 3 points, and they bounced back in a big way after not looking so good over the last few weeks. The Jags come off their bye. They lose by 31 points. The offense just 249 yards. They couldn't run the ball at all, which is 59 yards. Horrible on third down, no touchdowns, and 4 turnovers. The defense had 2 sacks, but they couldn't turn the ball over. They nearly gave up 450 yards for 34 points as well. The Jags are now 6-3 as their 5-game winning streak comes to a close. The Vikings beat the Saints 27-19. Josh Dobbs, 268 passing, a touchdown, no picks, and a rushing touchdown. TJ Hockenson, the tight end, 11 catches for 134 and a touchdown. And Ty Chandler had a rushing touchdown on the day. Derek Carr of the Saints, 110 passing, no touchdowns, no picks, but he was carted off the field with a concussion/shoulder injury. So in comes Jameis Winston, 122 passing, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. Chris Olave, 6 catches for 94 yards and a touchdown. So the Vikings keep on cooking. They get their 5th straight win and are now 6-4. Josh Dobbs is now a Minnesota icon. The offense, 393 yards, 125 rushing, no turnovers. The defense, 3 sacks, 2 picks, allowed less than 300 yards. And Carr exited the game in the third quarter, so in comes Winston for the Saints. The Saints were down 27-3 halfway through the third, but a couple TDs and a couple 2-pointers by Jameis Winston cuts the lead to 27-19 with 11:30 to go in the game. Unfortunately, Winston would have 2 picks in the final 3 minutes of the game, which could have tied the game for the Saints. And he had the moments of great, and then he had the moments of really bad. The offense had 297 yards. They had no run game, though, just 65 yards on the run game. They were 4 of 14 on third down. The defense had 1 sack but no turnovers, and the Saints dropped to 5-5. The next game is the Texans beating the Bengals 30-27. The rookie C.J. Stroud, 356 passing, a touchdown, a pick, a rushing touchdown, and 2 fumbles. Devin Singletary, 150 rushing and a touchdown. Tank Dell, the rookie, 6 catches, 56 yards and a touchdown. And Noah Brown, 7 catches for $172. As for Joe Burrow, the Bengals, 347 passing, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. Jamar Chase, 5 catches, 124 and a touchdown. And Tyler Boyd, 8 catches for 117. Joe Mixon, a touchdown run. So the Texans with a big win on the road moves them to 5-4 and makes them a contender in the AFC. Another game coming down to a last-second field goal. First quarter, Bengals open with a touchdown and a 7-0 lead. Texans and Bengals exchange punts. Then the Texans drive to the Bengals' 10-yard line, go for it on 4th and 1, fumbled the snap, and now Cincinnati is up 7-0 at the end of the first. Second quarter kicks off. Texans get the ball back, respond with a touchdown, tie it 7-7. The Texans force a punt, get the ball, but C.J. Stroud fumbles for the second time in the game. The Bengals go 3 and out, though, sets up the Texans for a field goal. Before the first half ends, the Texans kick the field goal, take a 10-7 lead. Third quarter starts. Stroud leads off downfield, gets a field goal, Texans up 13-7. Burrow is sacked, Cincinnati punts, and after a huge defensive pass interference, the Texans score, making it 20-7. Burrow is sacked. It leads to a 50-yard field goal, and now the Texans lead 20-10. The Texans punt. A few moments later, Burrow hits Chase for a huge touchdown. Third quarter ends with the Texans out front 20-17. Fourth quarter comes. Texans march downfield, results in a rushing touchdown and a 27-17 lead for C.J. Stroud and the Texans. The Bengals get the ball back. Burrow is picked with 6 minutes to go. The Texans have to punt, though. Bengals march downfield, and Burrow is picked again, this time in the end zone. Stroud keeps it. Stroud is able to keep it Stroud is able to keep the Bengals in the game with a pick of his own, and the Bengals are going to score, which makes it a 27-24 game with just 2.5 minutes to go. The Texans are going to have to punt. The Bengals march downfield to the Texans' 10-yard line. Burrow is sacked, and Tyler Boyd drops an easy touchdown on 3rd and goal. So they kick the field goal to tie it with 1:30 left. The score is 27-27. C.J. Stroud pulls off magic once again. He takes the Texans downfield for the game-winning field goal. And just what a banger of a game this was. I mean, Stroud and the Texans, if you weren't sold on them now, I hope you're sold on them now. Because if you were sold on them then, I hope you're sold on them now. Because they are absolutely balling out. And their offense, despite 3 turnovers, explodes yet again, this time for 544 yards and 188 rushing yards. The defense, 4 sacks, 2 picks. And it's time to start recognizing the Texans as the threat. Let's give them their respect. As for the Bengals, 413 yards, but they failed to run the ball just 66 yards. They were outrushed 188-66. The defense had a sack, a pick, 2 fumbles, but they got cooked for almost 550 yards and couldn't stop the run. The Bengals' 4-game win streak comes to an end as now they are 5-4. Next, the Bucs beat the Titans 20-6. Baker Mayfield, 278 passing, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. Mike Evans, 6 catches for 143 and a touchdown. Rachaad White, 51 rushing yards and a receiving touchdown. As for the rookie Will Levis of the Titans, 199 passing, no touchdowns and a pick. And Kyle Phillips, 3 catches for 61 yards. So the Bucs snap their 4-game losing streak. They get on the winning streak, which is now 5-4 for this team. The run game struggled for just 77 yards, but the offense finished with 355 yards as the Baker and Evans connection heated up. The Bucs defense, 4 sacks, 1 pick. They stopped the run. They gave up under 250 yards for just 6 points. And the Titans offense just absolutely miserable, 240 yards. The run game was abysmal with just 42 yards. The Titans defense, 3 sacks, a pick, but they couldn't stop the pass. The Titans are now 3-6, and you could say that they're a part of the 3-6 mafia now. The next game, the Lions beat the Chargers 41-30. Jared Goff, 333 passing, 2 touchdowns, no picks. Dave Montgomery, 116 rushing and a touchdown. Amon-Ra St. Brown, 8 catches for $156 and a touchdown. And the rookie Jahmyr Gibbs, 77 rushing yards for 2 touchdowns. As for Justin Herbert of the Chargers, 323 passing, 4 TDs, 1 pick. Keenan Allen, 11 catches, 175 and 2 TDs. Austin Eckler, a rushing touchdown. Jalen Guyton, a touchdown catch. And the rookie Quentin Johnson with a touchdown catch, the first of his career. So what a shootout this was. Another game coming down to a last-second field goal yet again. The Lions get the victory to go to 7-2. First quarter starts with a Lion field goal. They jump up 3-0. The Chargers answer with a field goal of their own to tie it. Jahmyr Gibbs runs it in for the Lions, and now the Lions are up 10-3. Chargers next possession. Herbert is picked. The Lions convert a 4th and 5 and then a 4th and 1, but then they fail a 4th and goal from the Chargers 3. And Herbert is able to... So the Herbert pick turns into no points for the Lions. As we go into the second quarter, the Chargers punt, leading to a Gibbs touchdown again. 17-3 lead for the Lions. The Chargers respond with a Keenan Allen touchdown, so the Lions are up 17-10. David Montgomery rips a 75-yard touchdown, so the Lions jump up 24-10. The Chargers convert a 4th and 1 touchdown with Eckler. The first half ends 24-17 in favor of the Lions. Third quarter underway. Lions go downfield, but they have to punt. Chargers' first offensive possession of the second half results in a TD, tying the game at 24. Lions match the Chargers' touchdown with a touchdown of their own. They regain the lead 31-24. As for the fourth quarter, we head into the fourth and goal on the Lions 1 results in a Los Angeles Chargers first down. It's 4th and goal again, and the Chargers cash in with a touchdown to tie the game. They're now tied 31-31. The Lions respond with a touchdown, make it 38-31. They lead with 7 minutes and 30 seconds left. Herbert throws a strike on 4th and 1 to Keenan Allen for his second touchdown of the day, tying it 38-38 with 3 minutes and 30 seconds left. With a minute 40 left in Chargers territory, the Lions convert a gutsy 4th and 2 call with which would wind down the clock. The Lions hit the game-winning field goal with 2 seconds left, and what a win. It was probably the best game of the week, in my opinion. Lions offense exploded 533 yards. The run game took off for 200 yards and 3 touchdowns. They went 4 of 5 on fourth down. They also had no turnovers. The defense was shredded for 400-plus yards. They had no sacks, but they did have that one pick. And the Chargers offense, 421 yards, 7 of 14 on third down. They were 3 for 3 on fourth down, and they couldn't run, though, like Detroit did. They did have 98 yards rushing, but they got out-rushed 298, so which is a total of 102 yards. The defense, no sacks, no turnovers. They couldn't stop the run. They were gassed for over 530 yards and 41 points. This was just the most Chargers way to lose a game, as they dropped to 4-5. So that's it for the part 1 video of the Week 10 recap. Remember to tune in for part 2 coming up very soon. Make sure to subscribe to my Instagram, subscribe to my YouTube, follow me on my Instagram, and make sure you turn in to part 2 dropping very, very soon.